Hey guys, Courtney here with Jumpsuit Diaries. So I can always tell where you guys are in the hiring, interviewing, and onboarding process because there is a trend in the questions that I get asked. So I can only assume that you guys have finally reached the section where you guys have received your packets and you're trying to come up with ways to learn those PAs because I think I have gotten probably about 20 messages in the last 2 days on tips and tricks of learning the PAs. So your girl decided to do a TikTok video because I'm gonna show up and show out for you guys and give you guys some tips that helped me out. So the very first tip I want to give you guys is there is an app called Memorize by Heart. I highly suggest downloading it. Has a free trial. It is a 30-day free trial, but you guys should only have about 30 days before you get to training. So in essence, it's free because you should have them memorized before you get to training. So you should be able to download it, take advantage of the free 30 days, and then cancel it before you get to training. So I highly recommend doing that. That's tip number one, Memorize by Heart app. The other thing that I recommend doing is I personally recorded myself saying the PAs in paragraphs. So like paragraph 1 was one word file, paragraph 2 was a second word file. And then I would put them I would just play them in my headphones all day long, and you start to like pick up on it and you start to just say it kind of like you're singing your favorite song. To do this, I use an app called Parrot. It's also a free app, and you can record sections of the PAs. And then once you learn, for example, paragraph 1, then the next recording that you make is paragraph 1 and 2, and then you just play those. The other thing that I do for tip number 3, now this one is, again, I'm very spiritual, I'm into manifestation, all that other stuff. And if you want to call it woo-woo, call it what you want, but it got my ass through training and it worked. I'm big on subliminals. There's actually science behind subliminals that prove that they actually work. I personally would take the PAs and I would record them, throw them under a rain soundtrack or a beach track, and listen to them at night. You would be amazed. Like, I would wake up, I would go to bed, and I would like be so frustrated because I wasn't getting it. Then I would listen to the subliminals at night, and I swear I would wake up in the morning and they would just be crystal clear and I would just spew them out. So tip number 3, subliminals. If you do not know how to make a subliminal track, I think I'm going to post this video to YouTube as well. So I will drop some tutorials in the description box on how to create your own subliminals. So that's also another tip that I would get is tip number 4. I already said this in what to expect in training video, where I said try to connect with people who are going to be in your training class now. You guys should be doing Zoom calls and FaceTime calls with each other like already, like get to know each other already, start relying on each other, and then practice. Whether you guys are doing Zoom calls or whether you guys are doing Facebook calls, whatever you're gonna do, but start running these with someone. What I found helpful is to get a group of 4 people. So you do this so that you make sure that you learn every section of it like solid, and you can pick it up from any section and start. So what I would do is find a group of 4 people. The first person, you guys all get on a phone call or on a Zoom call or whatever. The first person say paragraph 1, the second person say paragraph 2, the third person say paragraph 3, and then you guys just keep rotating until you get through all of it. What that's going to do is it's going to make sure that everybody really builds a solid foundation on every single piece of the announcements. My personal opinion, this was a mistake that I felt that I made in the beginning, and I'm going to share it with you guys. I personally would start with the emergency demo first because in my opinion, that's the hardest one. And that is the one that they are the most strict on because it's an FAA requirement. Like, you have to know that. So if you are going to be shaky on any of them, I would probably be shaky on the opening, but not the emergency demo. So I personally would probably start with that one. I'm trying to think if I have any other tips. I think that's it. So those are my tips for you guys for learning the PAs. I wish you guys the best. I know that this is so nerve-wracking, and I remember stressing out about those PAs because y'all, a girl was going through it. I literally got my PAs with, I think, probably a week and a half to learn them. So I did not have a lot of time. So for you guys who already have them, count yourself lucky. Oh, the other thing I would tell you is if you have not gotten your packet with your PAs, you can find them online, but I highly recommend you do not do that, especially for the opening PA, because I will tell you this, the PAs that we learned in training, literally the next class got different PAs. They weren't even the same. They literally changed them a week after we got in training. So if you're finding them online, you're probably finding the old ones, and you're going to be memorizing the old ones, which are not going to help you. So if you're going to jump ahead and memorize any of them, I would, again, memorize the emergency demo, because that's more than likely not going to change. But I would not recommend jumping ahead and memorizing the opening PA, because I can pretty much assure you it's going to be different than what you're finding online. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop me a comment. If you're not following my TikTok account, make sure to do that. If you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until then, see you on the jump seat.